Hi, this is Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com. Welcome to the Palmetto State Baseball Podcast for February 17th, 2025. This podcast is part of my coverage of college baseball in South Carolina. I offer schedules, scores, rankings, notes, and other news about all 33 teams in South Carolina at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. I also try to provide information about video or audio feeds when I can. I stay busy on X, formerly known as Twitter, at the handle of Palmetto Base. Drop me an email at rudyjones@PalmettoStateBaseball.com or send me a message on X with comments, criticisms, or compliments. Reader and listener interaction helps me to know what I need to do better. For instance, I experimented with a live scoreboard at the website instead of a lot of in-game updates on X, but it really didn't get much traffic on it. So right now I'm going to try a modified approach to the regular scoreboard and still do updates on Twitter. Let me know what you prefer. If you like my coverage of college baseball in South Carolina, tell your baseball fan friends about it and ask them to check it out. All my coverage is free. There are no subscriptions, no paywalls, no ad pop-ups trying to sell you anything. And I can guarantee you that you will get your money's worth. These podcasts don't have a sponsor. That's why I don't have ads. Instead, I take a little time each week to talk about the church where I serve the Lord. I invite you to worship with me at Reedy River Baptist Church on US 25 between Travelers Rest and the Furman University Golf Course in Greenville County. Worship time is at 10:30 on Sunday mornings, and we're usually out by about 11:30 or 11:45, just in time to beat the Methodists and the Presbyterians. For more information, like times for Sunday school, Sunday night, and Wednesday night services, visit reedyriverbc.org. Come check us out. I believe you'll find us to be a friendly church. I hope you'll want to visit. Now, back to baseball. I mentioned last week that I subscribed to Flow Sports for Baseball. Overall, I've been very pleased so far. The production quality of the streams of the tournament Clemson was in from Texas was very good. Now, some of the smaller schools, the streams don't have play-by-play, but that's okay as long as they've got a scorebook. I can keep up with what's going on the game. One of the challenging things about covering college baseball on a statewide basis is the weather. The weather was lousy for much of South Carolina at some point during the weekend, so lots of teams were scrambling to move games and do what they could to get them in. USC Upstate was the only NCAA Division I team to not be able to get in all three games. Well, that happens. Perhaps the Spartans will pick up a makeup game later this year. I've made it to an NCAA Division I opening day game somewhere just about every day or every year for the most 15 years or so, past 15 years, but didn't make it this year. Part of it was because of a very busy Friday schedule set up by all those schedule changes. Also, going to a game throws me behind in what I need to do to try to keep PalmettoStateBaseball.com updated. Part of the reason I didn't go also was, I'll admit it, it might be wet and cold, and I like it a lot better to be warm and dry. It's a lot nicer to sit in my man cave and watch games on TV than it is to sit in the cold. I'm not as young as I used to be. Plus, if the game I'm watching is a stinker, I can always switch over to another one. You can't just walk out of the stadium and into another game there. But I do hope to get to a game soon. 7 of the state's 10 NCAA Division I teams were involved in run rule games last weekend, and what there could have been if they made the choice to set up the run rule. Under the run rule, the game can end after 7 innings or 6.5, and any point after that if one team leads by 10 or more runs. This isn't a full-fledged grievance, but I'd prefer that the run rule only be in effect for the final day of the series. Cutting a game short reduces the chances for a coach to give some reserves some game action. I really believe the biggest proponents of cutting games short are the sports writers covering the teams. And let's face it, if they cut the game short, they don't give you any kind of a refund back on the price you paid. On the field, Clemson beat ranked teams back-to-back, Oklahoma State and Arizona, in the Shriners Children's College Showdown, but they got run ruled by Ole Miss on Sunday. Still, winning 2 out of every 3 games will result in a very fine season. Tigers had some good things over the weekend. They hit .324 and they scored 33 runs, but curiously they were out-homered. They did hit 10 doubles, which is also a lot for just 3 games. Tigers also need to cut down on the batter's strikeouts. They did it 38 times. Newcomers Dominic Listi and Josh Pano hit .556 and .444 respectively to lead the offense. The defense was good too, making just 1 error, and even pulled off the hidden ball trick to get an Ole Miss base runner out. On the mound, staff ace Aiden Kanak gave up 4 runs in 4 innings, but he did strike out 7. Ethan Darden struck out 6 in 4 shutout innings. Over in Columbia, South Carolina swept Sacred Heart, with the pitching providing most of the notable statistics. Carolina pitchers struck out 45 and walked 4 in 25 innings. Of course, they were playing a team that probably hadn't been outside much, if at all, yet this spring because of the weather up north. USC's 3 starters all struck out 9 in 5 innings, and they shut the Pioneers out over the final 18 innings of the series, with the Saturday game being a run rule win. The Gamehawks hit just .253 as a team, though, but they got some help from 21 walks from Sacred Heart pitchers and some shaky Sacred Heart defense. Clemson transfer Nathan Hall hit .500 from the leadoff spot. Carolina did play well on defense, committed just 1 error. It made for a successful debut for Gamecocks coach Paul Maneri. On Saturday, the playing surface at Founders Park was named for Ray Tanner, honoring the Gamecocks' former coach and athletic director. Dozens of Tanner's former players came to Columbia to honor him, and Saturday night they had a roast and a meal to get together and fellowship some more. Down on this Grand Strand, Coastal Carolina went 3-0 over the first 3 days of the Baseball at the Beach event with a pair of run rule wins and Kevin Schnall's debut as head coach. The Chanticleers hit .322 as a team. Colby Thorndike and Dean Mijos both hit .500 to lead the way. Coastal pitchers had a 1.17 ERA and a .181 opponent's batting average. Pretty good. Cameron Flukie pitched 4 1/3 shutout innings, and Riley Eichhoff allowed 1 run and a 7-inning complete game. Again, a run rule game. The tournament wrapped up over into Monday with a pair of games. Coastal was playing Kansas State and leading them at last report. I'll have the final on PalmettoStateBaseball.com. Mike McGuire's initial weekend at Winthrop was a good one. The Eagles went 3-0 against Merrimack. Winthrop hit .390 as a team, with Jalen Hernandez at .538 and Ethan Wilson at .500. Also Cole Yearsley at .500, leading the way. Wilson also hit 2 homers for the Eagles. Owen Sarna, who was a great pitcher for Winthrop last year, has picked up again. He struck out 9 in 5 2/3 innings. Wofford had an adventuresome route to going 3-0 against Ohio. After winning the opener on a run rule, the Terriers scored 5 runs in the 9th on Saturday to win 9-8. The final was a slugfest on Sunday with, actually I believe that 9-8 game is on Friday. I apologize. Just winging it here. The final game on Sunday, the Terriers won 13-12. They had to rally. Ryan Wynn, who had just 6 RBI all of last season as a freshman, now he didn't play a whole lot, he drove in 7 runs on Sunday alone with a single, a double, a triple, and 2 homers. He's the 3rd Wofford player on record to hit for the cycle. College of Charleston went 2-1 against Virginia Commonwealth. Cougars coach Chad Holbrook made only 1 lineup change all weekend, and why should he? The college hit .344 as a team, led by Avery Neves at .545, and the Spartanburg Methodist transferred Darian Pendergrass at .500. Friday starter Jake Brink started strong, allowing 3 hits and striking out 5 in 5 innings. Presbyterian got a pair of 1-1 wins. Easy for me to say, right? Pair of 1-run wins over Georgetown before losing the series finale. Trey Fenderson reached base 8 times in 3 games. Carl Coon, the new head coach at Charleston Southern, got off to a 2-1 start. Nathan Martinez led the way with a .556 batting average. Aiden McCaskey was close behind at .500. Rain played havoc with USC Upstate's attempts for a 3-game series with Boston College in Kane Sweeney's debut with the Spartans. Upstate won Game 1 on Friday. A Saturday rainout set up for a Sunday morning doubleheader, but they had to push back the start from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and BC's travel plans made it such that they could only play 1 game on Sunday. The Spartans rallied from an early 6-run deficit to take a 9-8 lead, but Boston College rallied in the final innings to get the win and a series split. BC, of course, is coached by former Wofford coach Todd Introdonato. Alex Ritzer and Vance Sheehan both hit .444, and Scott Newman and Jake Army hit .429 for Upstate. The rest of the team hit .162. Former Clemson player and Newberry coach Russell Triplett won his first game at the Citadel on Friday and was poised to go 2-0 on Saturday with a 5-4 lead going into the 9th inning. But Miami rallied for 5 runs in the 9th to win, and then they went on to win Game 2 by a run rule situation. Still, every state team, 6 of them with new coaches, that state Division I team, won at least one game. That's not a bad weekend, especially for openers. In NCAA Division II, Landon Powell won his 400th game as North Greenville beat Shorter Friday night. The Trailblazers had a season-opening 9-game winning streak snapped in Game 2 of the series on Saturday when a throwing error allowed the winning run to score in the bottom of the ninth. And then North Greenville bounced back in the second game on Saturday to take the series 2-1. Francis Marion had his season-opening 8-game winning streak snapped as it lost 2 of 3 at Mount Olive. Pickletown is always tough. Lander used an 8-run 8th inning to overtake Mars Hill in Game 3 to complete a series sweep of Mars Hill, as I mentioned, and Coker pushed his winning streak to 7 with a 4-game sweep of Ohio Dominican. Newberry won 2 of 3 over Tusculum, highlighted by 6 innings of one-hit, 15th strikeout, shutout baseball from freshman Chanson Cole out of Boiling Springs. Erskine won 2 of 3 from Emmanuel, and they moved the series finale from due west to Franklin Springs because of the weather, and Emmanuel wound up winning that game pretty handily, taking advantage of 6 Erskine errors, so Emmanuel avoided the sweep. Voorhees went 1-2 in a series at Stillman. In the middle game, Voorhees went up 15-1 with a 13-run 5th inning, but Stillman scored 14 runs in the 6th to tie the score. Voorhees won it with a run in the 7th, as again they went 1-2. Benedict was the last state team to open its season. They played 2 games against Miles on Saturday. They had a late lead in Game 1 but were unable to hold it and wound up losing both games. They had a Sunday game scheduled, but it was canceled because of the weather. I picked Coastal Carolina as Palmetto State Baseball Team of the Week for the previous week. They went 3-0 with a couple of run rule wins, and they're playing pretty good baseball. The prospects of incoming inclement weather may cause some problems this week, especially on Wednesday. There have already been some schedule changes made, such as Clemson's home game with Presbyterian. It was supposed to be the Tigers' home opener. It has been moved to March the 5th. Limestone at USC Aiken has moved up from Wednesday to Tuesday. Ditto for College of Charleston at Coastal Carolina. And there may be more. Also, Florence Darlington Tech's game at Brunswick has also been moved from Wednesday to Tuesday. Be on the lookout for more changes. I'll try to keep you up to date at PalmettoStateBaseball.com and also on X under Palmetto Base. Midweek matchups of state teams this week include College of Charleston at Coastal Carolina, South Carolina at Winthrop, Columbia International at Morris, Francis Marion at Claflin, and Limestone at USC Aiken. All of those are on Tuesday. This weekend, Coastal Carolina will be in the Jacks College Baseball Classic at ViStar Park in Jacksonville, Florida. Other teams are Alabama, NC State, and Ohio State. That series is being streamed on a different outfit from Flow Sports or ESPN+. I'll put some kind of note of it on PalmettoStateBaseball.com, but it's not going to be a video stream, one of the traditional services. With Tuesday's PC Clemson game postponed until March 5th, the Tigers now begin their home schedule with the Clemson Invitational. They'll bring North Carolina A&T and VCU into town and will play both of them twice over Friday to Sunday. The Aggies are coached by former Clemson player Ben Hall. The state's other NCAA Division I teams are at home this weekend. Charleston Southern plays a Manhattan team with former USC College World Series star Scott Wingo as an assistant coach. Also, College of Charleston is at home against Seton Hall. Lemoyne is at Presbyterian. Milwaukee is at South Carolina. Maine is at the Citadel. Bowling Green is at USC Upstate. Villanova is at Winthrop. And Army is at Wofford. On other levels this weekend, North Greenville has a Conference Carolina's home challenge with UNC and Pembroke. Newberry plays a red-hot Carson Newman team at the Smith Road Complex in a South Atlantic Conference game. National Junior College Athletic Association Region 10 teams begin conference play this week, and Gaston College's trip to Florence Darlington Tech matches the two teams that have been at the top of the league standings for the most of the past 3 or 4 years. It should be a good series. The Region 10 is going to a 30-game schedule this year after being 24 last year. But they are going to be, each team's going to get a home-and-home 3-game series. Other series in Region 10 this week, USC Lancaster and is at USC Sumter. USC Lancaster is at USC Salkehatchie. USC Sumter is at unbeaten USC Union. If you enjoy my podcast and other coverage of college baseball in South Carolina, please tell your baseball fan friends about it. Tell them about PalmettoStateBaseball.com. Also, let me know what you think I could do better or at least differently. I recently added a page with links to all the live video, live audio, and live stats I could find for state teams. Most of it is for home games, but there will be some exceptions that will also include road games. It's at the bottom of the column on the right-hand side of Palmetto State Baseball's homepage, and it's tagged Live Coverage Links 2025. Click on that link and you will see. Email comments, compliments, criticisms, or suggestions to me at rudyjones@palmettostatebaseball.com. I want your input to help my coverage of the best level of the greatest sport God ever allowed to be invented to be the best it can be. As a reminder, I invite you to come worship with me at Reedy River Baptist Church, 871 North 25 Bypass between Travelers Rest and the Furman University Golf Course in the Greenville area. Worship time is 10:30 on Sunday mornings. Most of the time you can catch me in the audio-video section at the back left of the sanctuary. Come see me. I hope you'll discover we're a friendly church and will want to worship with us on a regular basis. Learn more about us at our website, reedyriverbc.org. Thanks again for listening to the February 17th, 2025 episode of the Palmetto State Baseball Podcast. Remember to keep up checking PalmettoStateBaseball.com and Palmetto Base on Twitter for updates on schedules and other weather change. This is Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com saying, it's a beautiful day for baseball. Let's play two.